Hello art lovers, welcome to my window art gallery. I'm Loretta and my role in these videos is to be a sleuthsayer of culture through art. I'm going to try to remember that the viewer is always right. I am a viewer and you're a viewer and our view matters. So when we're looking at these art, we're going to try to think about how it makes us feel, maybe the emotions that come up, some stories that might come up in our heads, some memories, commentary on something maybe in culture or something that you're dealing with in life. Whatever comes up, take a few minutes and write it down. Don't censor yourself, just write down what comes to mind when you're looking at the art. Okay, I'm going to give you a close-up of the art so you can take a look at it and come up with how it makes you feel, what stories come up, memories. And they're both acrylic on canvas. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and then you can write down what you think and feel about the painting and we'll come back. Okay, welcome back. So let's get into it. Okay, for me, you wrote down what you thought and now I'd like to talk about it. With these two paintings, the main thing that comes up for me is that one of them is realism, and I can tell that this is a tiger. And in the other one, I'm not really sure what it is. At first, I see some red and yellow coming out of some kind of crack, and I get a little anxious at first. With realism, it helps my ego. It tells me that I'm right, that everybody in the room is going to know it's a tiger, that the artist that made it wanted to make a tiger, and I can feel like I conform, I fit in, and I won't look stupid, I won't be ostracized for having my own opinions about it, I won't be told that I'm wrong. So it's easy, it makes me feel comfortable when I look at realism. When I look at something more abstract, I get anxious and I get concerned about what other people think. I get concerned about having my own opinion, and it makes it harder for me to express how I'm feeling. And because I'm trying to reach and become who I am fully and be comfortable with who I am, abstract art really helps me. Because the viewer is always right. So how I see that painting and how you see the painting, they're both correct. Because I have a different life than you have. So different things that I see in this painting are going to read differently to me than they do you, and neither of us are wrong. And in culture, when we're walking around in the world and we have different views on things, in a free country, we're supposed to have the freedom to say what we want, say what we think, say what we feel, and have opinions on things. So abstract art helps me with that. So when I look at the abstract art, I see this jagged edge, kind of reminds me of a crack in the ice maybe, or the beep beep on a machine in the hospital that shows heartbeat, the heartbeat of if somebody's alive or is dying. If it's a straight line, I don't see any straight lines, so we're good there. I also see some colors coming out of the crack, and I see red and I see yellow. So the red can remind me of blood. It can remind me of red being evokes a lot of strong emotion. It can evoke anger and rage. And then I see yellow, and the yellow contrasting with the red can add a vibrance to me, or it can also speak of hope. So, and then I see these etchings it can be ice, and which makes me think there's a lot of scratching, a lot of challenges, a lot of maybe people scratching or hurting me, or that's the story I tell myself, all those people who've scratched, like scratching someone's eyes out or etching on your soul or whatever. And then in the background I see some mountains and all the mountains that we climb to overcome things. So for me, this painting speaks to mental health. It speaks to how the emotions that come up when we are met with some kind of mental injury or a trauma, or and the back and forth, the healing and the anger and the pain, and the healing and the anger and the pain both coming out of our heart, which is the heartbeat. And with this tiger, there is some a story that I find in this tiger, and what I see is a tiger coming out of the darkness and trying to decide if they want to be enlightened, if they want to come out into the light, because coming out into the light means I have to let go of some of the things in the past, which I have to mourn and grieve that, or it can mean having to try something new, take a new road, facing some of the challenges and facing some of the social blindness, the things that I bought into and I believed that actually aren't true. And so I'm trying to decide, or the lion's trying to decide, but in my story it's like I'm trying to decide, do I want to know more? Do I want to face some things? I'm not really sure what that looks like. So for me, that's what these two stories are, and whatever came up for you is right for you. And if you want to write down below what came up for you, I love to hear what people get from these paintings, and they'll help you know a little bit more about yourself and to start being brave about having opinions and saying what you think, feel, or need, and getting comfortable with that, and abstract art can help you with that. So I invite you to come back, keep exploring how things got so off the rails in our culture, how things are playing out, and what we can do differently. First, we need to do some sleuthing, and thank you for visiting my window art gallery. You could be anywhere, and you chose to be here, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a great day.